It's the first thing I think about in the morning. It's the last thing I think about at night.
Her nightmare began nearly 20 years ago when her son disappeared, then was found murdered.
The time goes by, you don't have any malice, you just want to understand why it happened.
We spoke with Yvonne Naska 14 years after she lost her son and still had no answers.
And then I think the only way I'll ever find it is when I die. I'll find out.
News 5 anchor Tracy Carless spoke with that grieving mother again today, 5 years later. And while she still does not have answers, she does have some backup in her fight for justice.
And it's heartbreaking.
All that Yvonne Naska has left of her son are these pictures and her memories.
The world really lost someone really good.
For 19 years, this mother has prayed for the key that would unlock the mystery that haunts her.
Every day, the first thing I think of in the morning is Vince. And the last thing I think of when I go to bed at night is Vince. I miss him.
Her only son, 30-year-old Vincent Naska, left his house on Kewanee Avenue in Cleveland to buy cigarettes in August 2005. He never came home. His body was found in a field at East 92nd Street and Holton Avenue a short time later.
I'm not the same person that I was prior. I have a tough time ramping myself up to be happy.
I first told you about Yvonne's search for answers in 2019. But now, 5 years later, she is no closer to finding them. But now, she has help.
I don't know that. How is the plant that you...
Yvonne Naska and Rosemary Torek share a love of gardening. In fact, the two women met when Yvonne was looking for someone to help her weed the garden. Little did she know she would also be getting help in tracking down her son's killer. One day in the garden, Yvonne shared that Vince was murdered.
I'm a mom, and that immediately got to me. I cannot imagine.
Rosemary is also an attorney, and when her friend expressed frustration over the investigation, Rosemary offered to help. She reestablished contact with Cleveland police. So far, they've had a meeting and a conference call about the case.
There is no cold case unit in Cleveland Division of Police. And so they are working on cases, murders that happened yesterday, and so they're stretched very thin.
Now these two women are on a mission to find a killer.
I don't want to stop until we get a resolution.
Yvonne told me her son was just months away from getting married. He was happy, kind, and generous. And the instant his life was taken, her life changed forever.
He was going to marry Mallory like in 6 months. They would have had kids. They wanted kids. I was robbed of grandchildren.
And now her life is very different without her son. I've reached out to Cleveland police for an update on this case, but so far I haven't heard back. In the meantime, Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. In Cleveland, Tracy Carless, News 5.